Hey guys, so in this video I'm going to be discussing, reviewing pretty much Stargirl 209. It was a pretty damn good episode. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button down below, subscribe if you're new. Thanks for watching. Let's get right into the video. So this episode was the first legitimate crossover connecting Stargirl to the Arrowverse, CWverse, whatever you want to call it. It's the same thing, pretty much. CWverse, Arrowverse, it's the first connection crossing over Stargirl to this universe, which would really open the doors for Stargirl to be in future crossovers after Armageddon, because Stargirl won't be in the Armageddon crossover, but it opens up possibilities where we can have bigger crossovers across Flash, Batwoman, Legends, Stargirl now, and Superman and Lois, which, again, causes a lot of possibilities that we can do with a 5-6 hour crossover, thanks to Stargirl. I think it's 6 shows. It should be, if I counted correctly. And if Arrow comes back, it'll be 8. So, who knows. But it would be pretty cool to see all these shows cross over at one point. And that's thanks to Garrick, who was in this episode. Obviously played by John Wesley Shipp, who did amazing in this role, like he always does. I was really excited for him to show up. I was a little bit disappointed with how many scenes he got. I was hoping that he would get more scenes as just showing up. But, the overall episode was amazing. It pretty much started off with the storm coming into Blue Valley. And it was obviously caused by Eclipso and which has been going on throughout the whole season. They've been saying that Eclipso has been the cause behind it. And Team Stargirl, whatever you want to call them, they were basically affected by Eclipso attacking them, making them see their fears. Like, why am I forgetting her name right now? But Court's mom saw Icicle, and the car was just like frozen over. Mike saw Icicle's son, forgetting his name too. I don't know why, but I am. Basically he killed the dog and then tried to kill him. And then Pat saw the old JSA, or most of them. I don't think Jay was in that scene. But basically coming up, and Bruce, who basically became Eclipso in the past, I'll get to that in a minute, basically attacking Pat because he failed them in a way. But getting back into the Bruce thing in the beginning of the episode, Bruce became Eclipso in a way. Not Bruce Wayne, I'm forgetting his last name, but if you watch the episode, you know what I'm talking about. Became Eclipso, and apparently he killed a girl, the daughter, you watch the episode. And we saw Jay come up, and they were discussing what they should do against this monster. And Starman, played by Joel McHale, who I'm a big fan of, by the way. I've always been a big fan of his before this, but yeah. Shade showed up, and they had a discussion. We then went to Pat in the garage. Again, he's called mechanic on the team, JSA. And I say team that way because they didn't really consider him on the team. At least everyone besides Jay, which is one of the things I loved about this episode. The interaction between Pat and Jay just, really trying to involve Pat as much as he can. Because Starman and Wildcat and that version's Our Man were really just trying to push Pat away from the team. They didn't want him involved in it. But Jay was involving Pat more than anyone else there. So that was really cool to see. And again, John Wesley Shipp played that role perfectly, as he normally does. So it was a really good scene, just with all the scenes with Jay and Pat in them. Everything in this episode was good, but those really popped out to me. But again, we see Shade talking about Eclipso like he's a true evil. Like, this is the worst possible evil that anyone's ever faced with Eclipso. And even Shade was afraid of him. So, and you saw Starman kind of worried a lot that Shade was worried about how evil Eclipso really is. And the fact that he killed a kid should really say something how evil he is, because Come on, who would kill a kid? Unless you're really a psychopathic murderer, like Eclipso obviously is. So we really learned more about Eclipso, which we needed. And it also brought in more about the JSA, because the main reason why Jay involved Pat in the JSA, at least for a moment, was the JSA had to make a decision whether or not to kill Bruce, who at that point had been taken over by Eclipso and killed the girl. And Pat was talking to Starman about it before this, and was saying that that's not their moral code. They can't go down that route. It'll change them forever. And they'll probably kill again, which we've seen that obviously throughout any superhero show. If a superhero kills someone, they're going to do it again and again and again and again. We saw that with Arrow. We saw that with, I'm forgetting some other shows, but especially Arrow. I mean, with Oliver, especially in the first few seasons, we saw him kill, and he got lucky. He met Felicity and everyone on Team Arrow that turned him over. And then season 4, he killed Dark. And season 5, we opened up with him killing again. So when you kill, you can't turn that part of you off, at least right away. And these superhero shows really show a bright light on that. But that's what Pat was trying to tell Starman. And then they all, later in the episode, they all came down to a vote. And Jay and Pat were the only two people out of Starman, Our Man, Wildcat to say no. Jay and Pat were the two to say no, because Jay was against killing, which, by the way, I'm so glad he was, because it really just makes the character more better. In my opinion, you have your own opinion, but for me, it made the character more special. To see that interaction with Jay being like, killing is not what he signed on for. But they all came to decision to kill Eclipso, and Jay wasn't involved in it. It was just Starman, Our Man, and Wildcat. And then they basically said that Jay wasn't really a part of JSA anymore. I don't think. They didn't really name drop Jay again after that scene. They just said the JSA formed again to stop the ISA, where supposedly all the JSA members died. Whether or not that's including Jay, I think we all know that Jay is obviously alive, because, he's on Earth Prime now. But it would have been nice if they said if Jay helped them in that fight, because they didn't say. They just said the JSA formed again. They didn't really say if Jay was involved, because he did say he was done. He didn't want to be a part of this, is going to kill people. So it would have been nice to put a little line in there saying Jay decided to come back, or, whatever. And just to clarify this, I know people were wondering, how is Jay on Earth Prime Crisis? I think our best possible bet to assume is that Oliver put Jay on Earth Prime when he died. Oliver, can't talk. Oliver, when he died, placed people from different Earths, like Supergirl, National City, on Earth Prime, so they could all be on one Earth. I'm assuming he did that with Jay. If they were going to go down that route, I wouldn't be disappointed at all. And honestly, I think that's the most logical way we can go with it, where Oliver, during Crisis, when all the Earths were vanished and he created Earth Prime, he put Jay Garrick and Joanne Garrick on Earth Prime. So while Jay's history takes place on Earth 2, at least this version of Jay, we don't know the original timeline Jay, and I'm talking about original timelines on Earth 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, when Earth 2 was like Harry's Earth, and Earth 1 was just Barry and Oliver and Kate Kane and Legends, and Earth 36 was Supergirl. Obviously that's changed now, but then Jay was on Earth 3. I don't think we entirely know if he was part of JSA then, but this is Earth Prime's Jay Garrick history. Because in the original timeline, Stargirl wasn't on Earth 2. We know that. So I think it's fair to say in the original timeline, Jay wasn't a part of the JSA. But because of Crisis, he is. And again, it changed the character in a good way. I think, in my opinion, it did. Overall, it was an amazing episode. If I had to nitpick, I wish we got like one or two more scenes with Jay. obviously they weren't going to have Jay in present day scenes. I saw people saying, why didn't we have Jay in present day? Because he's on Earth Prime. And if you've been keeping up with the shows, Team Flash, Team Supergirl, no one knows that there's a multiverse. No one. Everyone thinks multiverse is dead. And so it wouldn't make sense if after we just saw him in 717, 718 The Flash, and he shows up in present day in a different Earth, it wouldn't entirely make sense for Jay to be there, because then they would need to explain how he got there, and why wouldn't he tell Team Flash if he did? So that would just cause a plot hole, and it wouldn't work out well. So I'm glad the writers noticed that, and were like, we need to make this flashback scene, and they pull it out very well. So that's why Jay wasn't like interacting with Stargirl and the rest of the team, or the new JSA, and why he wasn't in present day scenes, because it wouldn't make sense. There would be a plot hole. Why would Jay not time travel to another Earth, but not tell Barry and the rest of Team Flash? That wouldn't make any sense. If Jay found out how to go to another Earth, he would tell Team Flash, especially Barry. I don't see Jay not telling Barry that. So if he wasn't present day in Stargirl, there would be a plot hole there. A big one, because you'd be the only one on Earth Prime who would know. So that's why he wasn't in present day scenes. As I did a video on a couple days ago, at this point in time recording, Jay will be in The Flash Season 8. I think it's around 806, 807. I think we figured it out. So we'll see him again in a little over a month. Flash comes back. So give or take a couple months from now, we'll see him again, because I'm pretty sure they're taking a break at their Armageddon crossover. I don't know the schedule. I don't know. But it would be nice to see Jay on Stargirl again. I don't know if we will. I think they're done filming season 2, as far as I'm aware, so I'm assuming he won't be there, but honestly, who knows? We might get surprised, I don't know. But I would like to see Jay on Stargirl again, because the writing's just phenomenal over there. But yeah, like I said, overall, amazing episode, 209. Again, if I had to nitpick, more Jay scenes would have been nice, but otherwise, everything was great. So yeah, let me know your thoughts about the episode down below. Hopefully I'll be able to do a review over 210. I don't know yet. I am keeping up with the season. I just haven't done reviews over all the episodes, because I kind of like watching it myself. But this one had Jay. How can I not do a review on it? But yeah, I wanted to do a review mainly because Jay was in it. If I want to do 210, you'll be the first to know about it. Everyone who supports me will know about it first, obviously. So yeah. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Again, let me know your thoughts about the episode down below. Have a good day. Have a good night. Stay safe. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.